that you are, what is the lesson of humility in your life that really shaped you and maybe even broke you to build you?
Well, one thing I would say is understanding your assignment. I understand now. I'm 47 years old, so I don't have time to mess up. You understand?
That's good.
And I believe God has kept me because I'm a firm believer He will keep you if you want to be kept. So when people see me, they say, "You're what, 47? But that came through struggle of understanding not only life, but understanding that I needed to be in a place that was already destined for me that I didn't know about. I believe coming to the Mount under Bishop was an assignment. It was not something I wanted to do because where I was fine. But sometimes I believe God will pluck you out, even when you don't want to be plucked out. Because sometimes, and I hope I'm answering your question, but there's a whole lot here. Sometimes we can be in a place that feels good, but yet we're dying. And as a worship leader, you have to know that it's your assignment and you're in the right place. And that you're there because you know it's your life move. Because we understand that worship is a lifestyle. So you got to know it's your life move. I'm going to give you a little story real quick. This is why I know it's my assignment to be where I am. When I was a little boy, Bishop Kim Brown, as you know him today, his father, I used to play for him, at a little church in Boykins, Virginia called Shalom Baptist. His name was John Brown. When I was a little boy then playing for him, we used to travel to Chesapeake, Virginia to a church called Trinity Baptist. At that time, Dr. O.L. Cromwell Sr. was the pastor. However, Bishop Darrell Scott, who's the pastor at Pleasant Grove now, was his minister of music. You got me? Y'all follow me? Years later, I go to college. I'm standing in the lobby of Norfolk State at the music board, looking for a job. A man walks up. It's Dr. O.L. Cromwell Sr. from Trinity Baptist Church that I saw as a little boy playing for Bishop Kim Brown's father, John Brown. As he's pinning the job on the board, he said, "You're Earl." I said, "You're Bishop Cromwell." He said, "I need a minister of music." I said, "I need a job." Immediately, he hires me standing there. I go to his church. Now check this. I'm now at Trinity Baptist Church playing for Dr. O.L. Cromwell Sr. This is about humility, I'm telling you. Dr. O.L. Cromwell Sr., who, when I was a little boy, I used to watch where Pastor Darrell Scott was his minister of music. About 15 years go by. A church calls me. It's Pleasant Grove. Pleasant Grove is now pastored by Dr. William Darrell Scott, who used to be the minister of music for Dr. O.L. Cromwell, Trinity, when I was a little boy, so I used to watch him on the organ. Right. So I end up going to Trinity, not knowing at the time that Dr. O.L. Cromwell Sr. is the godfather to Bishop Kim Brown. Watch the circle. 10 years later, I get a text about another job, not looking to go, to move. However, when the job came available, I put in the application. Now, this is the other thing. It behooves us to treat people right. Because I did not know at that time, there's a man named Dr. Sam Chan who was actually doing the interviews for Bishop Kim Brown. Dr. Sam Chan called someone in the industry who gave me a high recommendation and said, I believe this is the person for the mount. Not looking to move, understand that. However, I did not know at that time that Bishop Kim Brown's wife, check this out, is the sister to Dr. O.L. Cromwell Jr. wife. So godfather to Bishop Brown is Dr. O.L. Cromwell Sr. Sister-in-law to Bishop Brown is Dr. O.L. Cromwell Sr.'s daughter-in-law. Pastor Scott, again, was a minister of music for Dr. O.L. Cromwell Sr. at Trinity when I was a boy. Now I am his minister of music. 10 years later, I come to the Mount, where I used to watch Bishop Kim Brown sit on the front row as his father preached at Shallow Baptist. It's a complete circle. That's why I know it's my assignment. Because man didn't do it. God had already set it up. And so the humility part also comes in when you know that you're assigned in a place and you're under a leader who can speak life into you. That you no longer are dying, but you're living. Because you can have heaven on earth. If you decide to commit to leadership. So my thing to worship leaders, make sure you're in the right place. Make sure you're under the right leader. And whatever the vision is of the leader, it can't be two heads. So I tell the choir all the time, I don't care what I teach on Thursday. If Bishop comes up the hall and said, I want to hear such and such, he's the visionary, he's the leader of the house. I must have humility and understanding. It's his vision. It's not my vision. I'm not in charge. God is ultimately in charge, but he has placed a man of God over my life. And the other part of that, if you're not under anybody, then you're dying. You have to be somewhere. And as an artist, if you're not under someone, you're dying. You need a covering. You need someone to cover you. So I guess, I hope I answered your question. I don't know.
Come on, give God praise for him.